Continuing to follow the latest from Hong Kong, flights there suspended for a second straight day after police and protesters clashed in Hong Kong's international airport. And there are even more protests beyond the airport grounds. Medical staff at over a dozen public hospitals staged a sit-in against police brutality. And despite growing calls for Chief Executive Carrie Lam to resign, the Chinese government is not caving in, saying in a statement they firmly support Lam, her government, and the police force. Author of The Coming Collapse of China and Daily Beast columnist Gordon Chang joins us now to discuss the latest. And, Gordon, we know where this initially started, that the protesters were upset about an extradition bill. Can you just sort of talk about how this movement was born and how it has changed to this point?
Yeah, the movement was born in April when they had the first protest. Actually, organizers were so pessimistic, they didn't even think that they would actually schedule a march, but they did. They got 130,000 people in April. And so they decided to try one in June. June 9th, you had 1 million people on the streets. A week after that, 2 million people. Carrie Lam, though, has been intransigent. She's been willing to suspend consideration of the bill, but not withdraw it. About universal suffrage for the election of the chief executive, the top political officer in Hong Kong, and some, a minority, but some are even talking about freedom from independence from China. So this is an escalating situation, and Beijing has been showing really very little movement on its part.
I mean, Gordon, this is a huge issue, not just for China and Hong Kong, but around the world. Senator Mitt Romney tweeting that the protests are further exposing China's relentless campaign of repression, censorship, and imprisonment of millions. How do you react to that?
Well, President Trump has been progressively better in his comments, but he's still a long, long way from where he should be as the leader of the free world. I think that he's getting advice from people, Xi Jinping. But the problem is that there's nothing that Trump can say which would mollify the leader.
I'll just start
so
here.
At this particular time, I think the United States should be resolute. You got a lot of protesters who are waving American flags, who are singing the national anthem, our national anthem, and we've got to understand that we have the power to move this in a much better direction. We need to have stern words with Xi Jinping, the Chinese ruler.
All right, Gordon Chang, thank you so much for joining us on this.
Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.